See, did it again. There's something up with the Bookmap software. Why is it doing that? I guess we'll have to do that. All right, y'all, welcome. This is the Bookmap stream, Wednesday, April 23rd, 10:30. So I am streaming my screen here, so if you hear any background noises, that's why. 54.88 here on ES. A nice little bottom wick after a nice rollover to form this range. We have a 54.99 to 54.40, upside and down, so 60-point range. 60-point range. Now, typically, this late morning Wednesday stream, this hour is usually pretty tight, back and forth. And then we get a big move after the hour. So let's see if that holds true. We have a lot of tariff news back and forth, crazy buy-ups, sell-offs, back and forth. And we'll see what happens with this stuff. Right now, my recommendation is to play the outlier ranges. Don't diddle in the middle. Let's hope it, yeah. If anyone bought calls this week and hold, yeah, big time. Big time. All right, here is the YouTube link if you want to watch that. Then, of course, the Bookmap link there. Waiting to see if this 5-minute candle can close. Yeah, so on the 15-minute, let's go over exactly what the setup is here from a liquidity standpoint and price action. Liquidity is launched into 5,500 and a little bit here at 55.10, 55.05. We have wick. Now is sweeping bottom wick. That's immediately up 40 points, and they're attacking 5,500 again. My absorption thesis is they continue to attack the upper range without sweeping down to the lower range, which they've now done. It brings in absorption more and more and more. The probability of a breakout here is very high. So be careful shorting this area because this is now the 5th attempt at 5,500 without attacking the lower price. So this is a megaphone pattern, which is more of an expansion range, and the probability of breaking out here is pretty high. I wouldn't mind a breakout. Yeah, the move down the last 15 looked like a good sweep to at least, yeah, 100% AR, 100%. However, this 5,500 here on Bookmap has been there all morning. They absorbed this cat here that was at 54.78, and they're putting on this 12. He keeps coming on and off. So it does look like we have a nice little pull up into 5,500, and then we'll take that out and go higher. I think y'all underestimate my ability to hold in a sneeze until I can mute out all the streams. It's a new talent. CVD is very green. 10,000. Very green. I'm going to blow up. All right, 54.96. Here's a 5,500. I would probably say 55.10 will be my upside target for this little breach higher. What they'll do is they'll come up, attack this 5,500, they'll absorb breach, and they'll go bleh, and they'll do that 55.10 real quick. Right here. See this? See this absorption right here? You'll see this green ball get bigger. You'll see the volume spike. You'll see the CVD spike as they absorb. Buyers will hit it, and you'll have that little quick move up. 55.05, 55.10 right here. Within a couple of seconds. Yep, see them? They're sticking to it now. A little bit different from what happened prior. They're right into it. 500 orders sitting there. CVD has gone from 10,000 to 11,000. And you'll see it absorb, and that little price will just go straight up. Most likely 55.10, 55.05. Where's that spike? There it is. There's another one. Here we go. Yeah. Another iceberg coming on. 133. Got IV crushed on some zero calls, but they're recovering. Well, once they absorb this and hit that 55.10, you might be able to get out something out of them. Options data on the zero scale still showing call selling, put selling. Longer term, call buying, put selling. How important do you consider the concept of divergence between ES and NASDAQ? It depends how aggressive the divergence. NASDAQ is up 4, ES is up 3.4. That's not big enough for me to really be too concerned about it. If I see something like NASDAQ red and ES green, then yeah, I want to pay attention to it, which doesn't happen very often, but it does happen. So my main focus right here is on this 5,500 liquidity, absorbing it. And the concept of order flow is that if they fail to reach lower areas and hit into higher areas, it's absorption. There's too many buyers for the sellers. Nothing but calls are coming in too on the flow. Completely non-traded later. I posted some photos on IG a couple days ago. I hit 150 views. Nice. My best photo ever. Very cool. I'd love to see it, Woot Loot. I'd love to see it. Yeah, definitely. Now, they're not going to reverse this move yet. Absorption. So, typical midweek Wednesday price action so far. Slow. And then right at 11:30, it'll launch. It's the way they've been doing it. That's the thing. CL bouncing back up. Gold still getting wrecked, but holding. Silver is launching. Look at that. Beautiful. Look at all those wicks here on ES. Nothing but wicks. Ooh, top wick. Coming back off. Failed to get that 5,500. Another top wick. $54.90. I do not think they'll reverse this. Not without getting that 5,500 first, at least. That's intense, Woot Loot. Very cool pictures. I'd love to see it, man. Hit my daily goal, cutting my deltas in half and adding positive time decay. Beautiful mojo. Yeah, awesome stuff, dude. I love seeing what y'all do. U.S. Secretary is done speaking, so no more whipsaws from that. They are laddering a little bit more liquidity up to 55.50. Nasdaq has very little on it, down to 19,000, then 18.9. But CL hurt my feelings today. That was my first trade in that. I got stopped out, but I wish I'd taken profit when it was ripped up last night. Well, it's one of those things, man. Gotta lock it in. Lock it in. They are straight selling calls like nobody's business today. Selling calls, selling puts, which is representative of this price action. Extreme negative deltas on calls and positive deltas on puts. Hmm. 54.93. What can they do? It's like watching paint dry. It typically is. The Wednesday morning is typically the way this has been. Typically. Not a lot going on here. Just waiting for this absorption at 5,500. Now they're putting on 55.25. So I still have to say that this still looks like absorption for a breakout. The breakout is imminent. It could happen now. It could happen in an hour and a half. As long as they maintain this area up top without putting in a lower attack, then we're going to absorb and hit that 5,500. So they have, if sellers have any chance of getting this down to 54.40, they've got to get away from this resistance because all they're doing here is absorption. The 15-minute is just atrocious. Silver ain't stopping. This is what I was talking about. Heck yeah, man. Big 544 SPY call volume. 0 DTE. That's 25 cents higher. Open above ask, really. Let's see if this hero shows that. 544 SPX. That's SPX. Nice little red candle. VIX is coming back up slightly. Yeah. It's not going off anymore, definitely. 20-point rejection on the yes. Can they hold it? No plays for me. Suggestions for activities at your conference: 3D archery, shooting, round of golf, softball game, bowling. I thought about a round of golf. The problem is I wouldn't be able to mingle with everyone. I'd only be able to mingle with like 3 people as a foursome. Softball game would be fun. A little activity. Still holding 5480. Right about my recommendations is nothing. Just chill. Man, they are selling the crap out of calls. Aggressively selling calls. I mean, the call deltas are phenomenally negative today. So, there's no options juice. Man, this thing ain't moving at all. Right on top of the 5-minute POC. Liquidity on Bookmap is still going higher here, so yeah. Still waiting. Still unable to retrace down to the low of the day. That's my whole theme here. That's one of my uses for the morning range. We've had a very strong upward open, a lot of back and forth, unable to recapture the day's lows. So you still see that the flow is, order flow is still, for the time being, holding up. So I need to be able to see a little bit more downward flow without immediate wick to get me to want to short down the low of the day. Otherwise, it just looks like absorption to me. But it's very slow. Headed out for the day. Thanks for the stream. Nice, Kyle. Have a good day, buddy. Have a good day. See, silver broke out. CL's there. Is that a signal that the rumor and innuendo is not materially reducing risk? I like it. I concur. I do think that within 7 to 10 days, at the very most, we'll fill the gap back down from yesterday's lows. I mean, look at the 1 minute chart, just creeping. This is the 1 minute chart. Just creeping, sticking to the 54.75. Whoa! Whoa, another tweet. Man, this is like a machine gun of tweets. That's what I'm saying, man. This is... God. Down $2,100 a day. It's been a rough day. How am I doing? Today, I'm very low activity. Very low activity. Today at the open, it was just machine gun back and forth, which makes it very difficult to do any kind of analysis. And then now it's just so slow. And of course, we have yet another tweet. It's just all over the place. Market can't make up its mind. Let's go see. Trump says China is ripping the United States off. So I think people might have. Now it's going back up. Trump is tweeting. Trump is making comments right now, so be careful. Protect your positions. Yep, it's Trump comments. Remember, he didn't say he's not going to tariff China. He just says he lowered it from the 245% to the 60%. So that's what I'm saying. You know, the stuff that he was tweeting wasn't as bullish as the market's kind of made it out to be. Man, it's all over the place. Eventually, we're going to hit a little fatigue, though. Still rolling over. I have no idea what to tell y'all, man. Just grab on. Trading via tweet. No one did that see coming. I didn't hear no bell. Can't seem to get a hold of my discipline. I've done great the last 4 days in big red today. Well, there's two parts to that for me to help you there, Ron. Number one, you need to do some trading analysis on in your trading log to determine what's the ratio between your losses to your wins. How big are your losses? How big are your wins? Which one's bigger? Your average. If your losses are far bigger than your wins, then you're going to have a problem maintaining consistency because everyone has bad days and bad trades, everyone. And when that day does come, you're going to get blown out regardless. So, number two is that you have to have a set list of rules to which to follow, and then being a mature of a trader, maturing enough of a trader to get to the point where you can adhere to those rules, aggressively adhere to those rules. Hit 2x my daily goal. Nice, Mojo. Well done, buddy. Well done. I love it. I put on iron condors every day. I just change the number of contracts. I like it, Mojo. It's beautiful, buddy. All right, so we bottom wick back up on some more tweets. Back to 54.76. Let's see where liquidity is. Now we've got major liquidity here at 54.73. So they're putting on another one right here. I get on my own worst enemy. Every single trader's own worst enemy is him or herself. Every single person. I think there's obviously there's a big problem with the general trading community overall, thinking there are far more opportunities than there actually are. If you could grasp the fact, not the opinion, the fact, that there's usually only one or two good setups a day for the short-term scalper, at the most, I think that would greatly improve your trading style. I get commended a lot for my trading patience, but it's just that my patience is derivative of me refining that, of understanding that there's not that many opportunities here. I take one or good two high quality setups at the most, and that's it. Seems like passive buying today. Yeah. Took one trade and lost calling her today. Your patience is extraordinary. Honestly, Mojo, I'm addicted to not being in a trade. I like the control. I guess I'm a control freak. I like the control of not being in a trade. It gives me just more opportunity to get into something that's I like. They are still aggressively selling calls here, so I don't see a lot of bullish flow on the option chain. We're going to have a fair trade deal with China. We're going to make a lot of money for the United States. China and Europe is ripping off the United States. End of comments. There you go. He just hung it up. Actually, I had a good day today. Considering all the crazy volatility, I was short gold, long CI, and long oil. Beautiful. Also long TLT. Well done, Matt. Now that you mention it, there are only so many trades in a session. You could say if one wants to hunt for more setups, one has to consider other sessions such as London. Yeah, 100%. Yep. Less trades. Another move lower. I just realized I'm hanging out on the 1 minute here. 15 minute still shows doji. Bookmap still has 54.75, 5,500 up top. Apparently there's some weird stuff going on with the prop firm space. Apparently they're creating, or the guy that runs Top Step is creating some sort of advisory board that will monitor traders across all the different prop firms. So if you trade on multiple different props, they'll monitor your activity to make sure you're not doing anything sketchy, I guess. Which is just sounds like the United States government, except for prop firms. Next, they're going to make us pay taxes on our prop firm winnings. June 20th swing puts her down 31%, 260 contract. There's a real strike. Well, I mean, 30% is about where I'm looking to do something with those contracts. I can absorb a 30% drawdown on a swing call, swing put, but that's usually my limit. At that point, I'm either aggressively hedging, I'm getting out, I'm doing something. So, yeah. Everything devolves into government because it's the worst thing to ever exist. It is the worst thing to ever exist. I'm thinking the same 30 is usually my stop, limit stop. Yeah, definitely. As Thomas Paine said, government is necessary. Yeah, I'll concede that government is a necessary evil as long as it's contained within a very, very, very small box. But it never stays contained. Man, this thing ain't moving at all off this 54.70 mark. Just back and forth right here. I saw a car with a jabroni sticker in the back window. Wonder who it was. Probably listens to the streams. Government designed to protect its citizens should be a good thing to provide law and order. Society, a problem today is the same as everywhere. We have immoral men running our civil authorities. Yep, I agree with that. I agree with that. 100%. Was it a Fiat EV? Yeah. Definitely Yo Cheerio. Definitely. Still hovering 54.70-ish. If tariff news bamboozled me yesterday, I'm hurt. All right, we are coming up on the end of this very boring stream. I apologize, but that's been the nature of these Wednesday morning stuff. It's just dead flat. Every single Wednesday, it's like this until I get off about midday and it rockets. A couple more payouts processed this week. Beautiful. Nice, Gaz. Well done, buddy. Keep up the good work. I hate when I'm looking at the charts on the 1 hour, but it's the 1 minute. Yeah. Top Step TV guys, whenever I see, they always ended up buying the top and selling the bottom. That's what I hear. I don't watch them, but that's what I hear. Been more active in Globex. Beautiful. Find your edge, man. Find your edge. Sometimes we get these nice moves like last night, which end up doing chop. Yeah, yeah. $54, $57. Still dropping back off. Finally getting away from the 70 mark. Are we finally going to hit the low of the day? All right, a few more minutes here, back and forth. All liquidity is still higher, but I haven't taken additional. I don't like trading this environment, this stuff back and forth. I just don't like it. No bueno. Oh, hey, another one. What? And case in point. This is why I'm not even looking. This is ridiculous. It's just every 5 minutes there's a tweet or a comment. Another one. Out of nowhere. What now? Dropping back over, just put in new low of the day, so that is officially a bearish maneuver. So, yeah. Another one. Back and forth. Nice, Twizzy. Life is Roblox. $54.50, so we just barely put in a new bottom wick. I don't see any other headlines that just caused that whatever shenanigans that was, but yeah. Got to trade while Trump is asleep. Yeah, true. True. I've been reading that these quick moves based on a tweet is symbolic of a market low on liquidity. Yeah. The market the past 4 or 5 years has been juiced to the gills with options, short-dated options. And now we're dealing with a first-time geopolitical climate that any of us have ever seen, and the market doesn't really know what to do. It's just all over the place. Extreme options flows one way or the other. Low liquidity moves that are just completely shaken out. Massive bottom wicks, top wicks on the drop of a tweet or a comment. Not even a tweet. That wasn't even a tweet. It was just a comment to reporters. It's going lower, 54.34. Finally took out low of the day. Supermarket's frustrating for me recently. Yeah, I mean, that's submit. I mean, there's things back and forth. If you're not completely accurate with your sentiment, your analysis, and of course your risk mitigation, you're going to have trouble with this. This is all over the place. I just don't see how much uncertainty this market can stay up. I don't think it will stay up. I think we will fill yesterday's gap by the end of next week at the most, if not today. And then, of course, we'll put in new lows. If you're going to trade this stuff, what I recommend is put on 1 or 2 micros and just take your hands off. Put on a stop, an appropriate stop, and just take your hands off and don't worry about the intricacies of the candles. That's it. That's what I'm loading up in 3-week outputs. Yeah, buddy. No unilateral offer from Trump to cut China tariffs. Didn't they already say that today? I thought they already said that this morning. Nice, Matt. Well done, buddy. Well done. Keep it up, man. You're killing it today. $54.26. We're now down 80 points since the morning pivot. Breaking down. Kind of wild they put out news right at 53.15 to save a few more days. Yep. Would be a smart play to wait for the retest of previous lows and ban place a put. If I'm being honest, man, I'm hands off today. This back and forth stuff I hate. My overall macro theme is still down. I still think we're going to attack the lower area. I don't see anything bullish really to change the whole narrative yet in terms of that. And the price action is not supportive of just blast off moves. So that's my theme. Full China deal will take 2 to 3 years to go into effect. And of course, the best technical analysis is that Kramer says that this rally will continue. We're toast. Short everything. All right, y'all, that is 11:30, so I do have to call it. That's our hour on the stream. Nice little downward move here off of the upper POC, finally taking out new low of the day. We are now in a technical downtrend. Taking out the low of the day is a very bearish sentiment. I want y'all to understand that. We had a range day. We absorbed. We broke down below the low of the day. So the probability says that we go lower into the afternoon. We'll see what happens. Have a good rest of the day. Hit me up with any questions. I'll see you next week. I'm out. See you.